Coming up on the Rockbridge Report, top congressional Republicans say they are open to a bill banning bump stocks used in Sunday's mass shooting.
And the candidates for Virginia governor will face off next week in the last of 3 debates.
And in the African country of Niger, 3 Green Berets were killed as they fought terrorism in West Africa.
And the Lexington Fire Department takes steps towards saving lives in the battle against opioids.
And the Rockbridge Report takes us on a tour of Lexington's newest attraction. All of that and more next on the Rockbridge Report.
Live from the campus of Washington and Lee University with news for Rockbridge County, this is the Rockbridge Report.
Welcome to the Rockbridge Report. I'm Aspen Marafe.
And I'm Brennan Black.
The National Rifle Association and congressional Republicans say they are ready to discuss gun regulations after Sunday's mass shooting. Investigators are still working to piece together the events that led to the deadly mass shooting in Las Vegas. Authorities say that 59 people were killed and nearly 500 were injured. CNN's Karen Kaifa is in Las Vegas and has the latest on the case.
Investigators digging into the life of Stephen Paddock are finding the 64-year-old was extremely secretive and extremely private. And so more than 72 hours after Sunday night's attack, they still don't have a clear idea of what his motive was. Investigators hope that perhaps his girlfriend could yield some clues. Yesterday in a statement, she said that she thought when she was sent to the Philippines, it was a way of Paddock breaking up with her. Meanwhile, the sheriff here, he's not so sure that Paddock acted alone. Days after Las Vegas endured the worst mass shooting in modern U.S. history, investigators are piecing together a picture of a troubled man.
What we know is Stephen Paddock is a man who spent decades acquiring weapons and ammo and living a secret life.
But they say he doesn't fit the standard profile of a mass shooter.
Usually there's a tall tale sign associated with these types of actions, reclusive, a plethora of things associated with this mindset. And we have not found that yet.
Authorities also suspect Paddock may have had an accomplice, and they appealed to the public for help.
There's people that know this individual. There's people that can help us understand this individual.
The shooter's girlfriend, Marilou Danley, who is not a suspect, has spoken to the FBI. Her former stepdaughter told Australian media that Danley should get the benefit of the doubt.
And who's to say, where the guns were concerned, being in his house, that he didn't take those guns there after she went to the Philippines.
Investigators also say there is indication Paddock had planned to escape, but instead left a note and killed himself. As they pursue all possible threads, all possible leads, the FBI special agent in charge here in Las Vegas says there's nothing to indicate that this was terrorism, but the investigation is still ongoing. The sheriff has urged everyone to have some patience. This investigation could take some time. In Las Vegas, I'm Karen Kaifa.
3 U.S. Green Berets were killed and 2 others were wounded in southwest Niger when a joint U.S.-Nigerian patrol was attacked Wednesday. The wounded troopers were evacuated to Niger's capital and will be taken to Germany for treatment. They are in stable condition. The U.S. troops were part of a team advising and assisting local forces when they were attacked near the Mali border. The U.S. military has maintained a small presence in the African country as they battle 2 terrorist groups, the ISIS-affiliated Boko Haram and Al-Qaeda's North African branch.
2 candidates for Virginia governor will face off in the 3rd and last debate next Monday night. The University of Virginia's College at Wise will co-host the debate between Democrat Ralph Northam and Republican Ed Gillespie. A recent poll finds Northam widening his lead over Gillespie by 53% to 40% among likely voters. The debate will be the first of its kind to take place in Southwest Virginia. The only Democratic challenger to Congressman Bob Goodlatte is already campaigning a year out from the election. Peter Valenzuela has never held a political office before, but he spoke to local Democrats at the Rockbridge County Democratic Committee dinner last week.
For a long time, they hadn't been listened to by the current representative, and so I think he's become a bit out of touch with the needs of the district. And so I want to reassure people that I'm here to listen and I'm here to represent you.
It's Parents' Weekend at Washington and Lee University, and Lexington hotels raised their nightly rates, but some parents feel these prices spikes are unfair to the customer. Reporter Bryn McCarthy comes to us live from downtown Lexington. Bryn?
Thanks, guys. So I'm standing here on Main Street where parents have already begun checking into local hotels, getting ready for the weekend's festivities. And while parents are so excited to be here in Lexington this weekend, they are less than thrilled about the higher rates at local hotels. Several W&L parents have reported price spikes up to 3 or 4 times the usual nightly rate. And while parents are, quote, happy to pay these rates in order to make sure that local hotels are still making a profit, they really do hope that in the future these prices could be a bit more, quote, considerate. To learn more about local hotel pricing here in Lexington, visit the Rockbridge Report's website. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Bryn. Coming up next on the Rockbridge Report, Alexander Klein catches up with the new superintendent of Rockbridge County Schools.
Well, it looks like a mixed weather forecast for the weekend. We'll start off with some sunny skies, but there's going to be some storms and showers after that. I'll have your weather report next.
And later, we'll update you on how local Democrats are coping with being the minority party in Rockbridge County.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Your son wants to get a cat, but you're allergic. Do you A, prepare yourself, B, make the best of it,
C squared equals
25.
Good job!
or C, find a loophole? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Listen, I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you judge me for having a problem. No one is going to know that I need help. I need help. I know that no one is going to judge me for having a problem. I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you listen.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes, B, console her,
don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
The new superintendent for Rockbridge County Schools promises better preparation for students to enter the college or the workforce, and better engagement with the community. But as Alexander Klein reports, Philip Thompson is no stranger to Rockbridge's educational system.
Philip Thompson knows the Rockbridge area and its schools like the back of his hand. He grew up in the county and has worked in the school system as both a teacher and an administrator.
It is one of those communities where you know you're home when you're here. People will accept you as long as you're honest with them and as long as you try to do the right thing.
Now, as superintendent, Thompson wants to maintain a strong presence in the community. He hopes to visit schools and interact with students whenever he can.
I want the community to view me as accessible. And usually that's pretty difficult to do when superintendent doesn't get out amongst the community as much as possible.
Thompson was principal here at Maury River Middle School for 7 years. The school board chairman, David McDaniel, says Thompson was perfect for his new job because of his extensive knowledge of local schools and government.
He went to school here, he taught here, he's been a principal here, he's been an administrator here, he's worked at central office. He knows the community, he knows the key players in the community, he knows the local government. He was just the right choice for me.
Thompson already has ambitious plans to move the school system forward. In a studio interview with the Rockbridge Report, Thompson said he wants to help students better transition from school to the workplace.
I want students to be able to leave our high school and be ready to go into the workforce if they choose to do that, making good, high-paying jobs. If they choose to go to college, I want them to be ready academically so they're not any more challenged than any other student from another part of the state.
However, Thompson knows that his job will bring challenges. Among them, he says, will be improving reading test scores at area elementary schools.
We hope they love reading when they leave elementary school through life, but the goal is to make sure they know how to read and they can use it as a tool to be able to learn more things later on in life.
The next meeting for Rockbridge County School Board is scheduled for October 10th. We've been on a winning streak weather-wise, and it's going to continue to start the weekend. But James is here, and I guess it depends on which part of the weekend you're talking about.
Well, Brendan, it looks like that winning streak might just be coming to an end. I'll take you over here for your local weather forecast. And as you can see, we still have some sunny skies in the cloud today. It is 80 degrees high with 54 low. The barometric pressure is currently 30.22 inches. It's not a very windy sky today. It's only 6 miles an hour and a low humidity of just 35%. Let's take a look at the regional conditions. As you can see, it's relatively sunny all throughout the Rockbridge County. It's 80 degrees in Lexington, Buena Vista, and Stenton. Charlottesville, a little clouder, 81 degrees. Lynchburg, also 81, not many clouds. Up in Covington, a little more chilly, it's 73 degrees. And Roanoke, it's 84 and sunny. Now, as you can see, it's not too many clouds in the sky right now, but there's a big cloud front coming in that's going to give us some showers later on this weekend. And now here for your 5-day forecast. As you can see, Friday and Saturday, we still have some partly sunny skies in the last of the good weather. 83 high on Friday with 82 high on Saturday and 55 and 61 lows. Starting Saturday night, it looks like we're going to get some storms that'll go all the way into Tuesday. It'll be a 79 high on Sunday with a 56 low, 77 high on Monday with a 61 low, up to 80 on Tuesday and down to 57 later Tuesday night. Brendan, back to you.
Coming up on the next Rockbridge Report, business is buzzing for one local beekeeper in the Glasgow, and we'll have the story next.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
It's me, Artie. Come see what I collected from the Creative Galaxy in my idea box.
Transform your world.
Will you help me make art?
Each one of our journeys keeps us young. Before you throw it away,
Hey, I have an idea.
think outside the box.
We'll never get older. Each one Go be amazing!
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Why is my son having trouble in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with my son over his homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No. He's smart, but his mind wanders.
7 wonders of the world.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
A Georgia-based flooring company is working to become more sustainable. Mohawk Industries manufactures over 500 products containing recyclable material and has recycled over 7 billion pounds of waste. But the company's Glasgow branch is taking projects a step further with the installation of beehives. Alison Murtagh has the story.
Mohawk Industries, a local flooring company, has been present in the town of Glasgow for 82 years. Junie Snyder, who has worked with the company for 33 years, enjoys beekeeping at his home. So, when members of the company's management approached him about keeping bees on site, he was ready to take on the challenge.
They asked if I would mind keeping some bees here on the property, and I told them I would absolutely love to do that.
The 8 hives support 500,000 bees, enough bees to potentially pollinate the entire Glasgow area.
Honeybees travel approximately 3 miles from their hive, so they pollinate all the flowers and gardens and trees within that 3-mile diameter or the radius.
During the second year on site, the hives produced about 40 pounds of honey. The honey, known as Mo honey, will soon be given to special guests touring the company's site. Luke Chafin, the commercial and sustainability PR manager at Mohawk Industries, said beekeeping at the Glasgow facility is a way to give back.
The Mo Honey Initiative is one way we reinforce our commitment to believe in better sustainability practices for the communities where we live and work, and that's right down to the bee population.
Robert Howard, the president of the Blue Ridge Beekeepers Association, said there are benefits of selling honey locally.
There are a lot of people who really enjoy local honey, and it's for a couple reasons. One, the local honey has all the local pollen in it, so for people who have some health issues, that is very good for them, and it is pure 100% honey.
Snyder owns 43 hives throughout the county and needs to work with the bees about 180 days a year.
Without the help of companies like Mohawk and initiatives like this, the honeybees would not survive. The average mortality rate for honeybees is 46%, and that's with the influence of the beekeeper.
I think this is an awesome thing. I'm proud of those guys for doing that. I mean, this obviously shows that they care about the environment and they care about the bees, and they are making an effort to do something about it.
With the days getting colder, Snyder is beginning to prepare for the winter season of beekeeping. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Allison Murtagh.
Snyder has talked with company employees about eventually trying replacement beekeepers. However, he doesn't intend to stop his hobby anytime soon.
Time is running out in the election for Virginia governor, and local Democrats are facing difficulty campaigning in a largely Republican area. But this year, the Democrats are getting a little help from the state party. Gus Cross has the story.
Last week, Jay Clark, the Rockbridge County Democratic Committee chair, resigned, saying he was frustrated with the lack of staffing, correct voter information, and overall communication from the state party. In response, the party promised to provide more support. For now, Clark will remain as the chair, but he and other local Democrats are struggling to get more votes in a historically Republican region.
The bulk of the population will in fact vote Republican regardless of what we do and how well we do it. But our job is to cut into that margin as much as we can and hope that if we cut enough, that will allow Democrats in other parts of the state to carry our candidates over the top.
Trying to cut into that margin involves reaching out to many people in the Rockbridge area. With the large and broad population of Rockbridge, time plays a large role in how parties reach out to these people.
You have to figure out, well, where is the concentration of voters that makes sense, for you to go door to door? Because if people, live on 10 acres, like just trying to get from door to door is going to take up your day. So unfortunately, that means that folks way out in the county, I'm not going to get to their door.
Despite the crunch for time and the heavy presence of Republican voters, many Democrats maintain hope in getting votes.
I believe that we can be doing better here in the 6th District. I believe that we have so much unmet potential. And I think that to meet that potential, we need a fresh start here in Rockbridge County.
Despite Clark's frustration, he holds the same hope as Vollism.
It's a very tough nut to crack, but you got to keep working because we really do believe as Democrats that our policies will benefit, for example, the citizens of Rockbridge better than will Republican policies.
For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Gus Cross.
Clark has agreed to stay on for the remainder of the year. He will not be seeking the chair position for next year. Coming up next on the Rockbridge Report, we'll catch you up on local and college sports, and it's a popular game that got its start in Japan. Now it's made its way to downtown Lexington. Nuya Zhou has the story.
Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
It's fine that other people like you. It's more important that you like yourself. And I'm comfortable with every part of me. Meals on Wheels coming to my door as someone who's housebound assures me that I'm not forgotten. They care that I'm okay. My name is Asha Ida Bell. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
It's an exciting day for the Minnesota Lynx women's basketball team. The team brought home the WNBA championship title last night, but it wasn't the first time the Lynx had a reason to celebrate. This is their 4th championship in 7 years. The Los Angeles Sparks fell to the Lynx with a score of 85-76 in Game 5.
The Washington and Lee women's golf team also has a reason to celebrate. Tell us about it, Paige.
That's right, Aspen. The WNL women's golf team tied for 2nd place out of 12 teams in the Generals Invitational on Monday and Tuesday. Methodist University went home with the trophy, finishing 3 strokes ahead of the Generals, who tied with Carnegie Mellon. And the WNL women's soccer team is also celebrating this week. The Generals dominated Eastern Mennonite University on Wednesday, scoring within the first 5 minutes of the game. The Generals beat Eastern Mennonite 3-1. Eastern Mennonite also fell to the Generals on the field hockey field. The Royal Lions lost 5-2 Wednesday evening. And another win for women's sports. The WNL volleyball team shut out Lynchburg 3-0 at the Warner Center. Turning now to men's sports. The Washington and Lee soccer team squeezed out a victory over Randolph Wednesday. First-year forward Harry Pinkerton scored the team's lone goal in the 85th minute of the game. The 9th-ranked WNL men's golf team finished in 6th place out of 12 teams at the Gordon Collegiate Classic on Sunday and Monday. And it's a big weekend for home football games for the area's colleges this Saturday. WNL will play Washington, VMI will play Samford, and SVU matches up against Apprentice, all at home Saturday. Back to you.
Some people have never heard of escape room games, but Lexington just opened 3 escape game rooms at Courthouse Square. Nuya Joe has the story.
Ryan Clark told his family that he was going to open escape rooms in Lexington at the dinner table when he just had his first experience with the game. He was not joking. 4 months later, he opened a business called Locked In at 17 Courthouse Square right behind the old courthouse building after a 3-week trial run. The concept is to put a group of people in a theme room that is decorated with high-tech props. They mess around with these props to solve puzzles step by step to get out of the room.
And that may be a stretch, but it's on that spectrum of a real-life action-adventure game where you become this character in this story, and that story is to solve this room to let yourself out or to acquire some type of item.
If you've never heard of the game, maybe you know the movie The Goonies.
In that movie, The Goonies, they're in this pirate ship with a guy called One-Eyed Willie. And this character is trying to find One-Eyed Willie's treasure. And inside this ship, there's a whole bunch of booby traps and different things he has to do in order to get to that point.
The 3 rooms are called Area 51, Murder Mystery, and Prison Break. The Prison Break room is more for beginners and children. Clark said that local sports teams have gone there for team building. Area 51 and murder mystery rooms have props with higher-end technologies. Tickets cost $15 for 12 or younger and $25 for 13 or older. Clark said that since he started advertising on Facebook last month, he has seen exponentially more players come through. In the future, he plans to change the themes once a year. In the middle of August next year, they'll switch to a Pirate's Treasure theme room and open a bigger room upstairs. The store is currently working on some high-tech props with VMI's engineering department.
Escape rooms are popular where I'm from. In fact, the concept originated from Asia. You might want to check the rooms out before the themes get changed. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Noya Zhou.
That's all for the Rockbridge Report. Stick around afterwards for when Alexander Klein sits down with the new superintendent of Rockbridge County Schools. Thanks for watching.
You can stay current with Rockbridge area news on our website, rockbridgereport.wlu.edu. See you next Tuesday at 3 on Channel 18.